Hello, Nandish. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. And it's Nandish Singh Sandhu.
Nandish Singh Sandhu, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so of course, you were brilliant in the show. But what kind of receptions that you have been receiving in the context of your performance in the show?
I think it's been amazing. It's kind of been overwhelming for me
Right,
because the show is receiving so much love.
right,
All the characters are getting so much love and appreciation from
right,
everybody, from the
right,
audience, from people in the industry.
right,
And it is more than what I expected, honestly, because
right,
I first of all we knew that the show is going to be a
right,
masterpiece because while we were shooting, we kind of
right,
had an idea of what is being made by
right,
Vikram.
right,
Aditya Motwani is known to be to create something which everybody connects with and
right,
everybody appreciates from
correct,
all the past work that he's done.
correct.
But specifically for Jamshed, the kind of love that has come my way, I think it's just brilliant. It's overwhelming. It is unexpected.
Coming to Jubilee, so working with Vikram Aditya Motwani is a very meticulous process in the sense that he, extracts the brilliance from his actors in a very, nuanced way. So was that something that even you felt, and how was it like for you working on his project?
Honestly speaking, Vikramaditya Motwani was on the top of my list
Right,
of
right,
directors that I wanted to work with.
right,
Not now, since years. Like
right.
since
Lotera.
since I probably since Lutera, since I
Right,
probably started acting when I thought that I'm going to be a part of this industry, and I got into the industry. He was
right,
always on the top of my list.
right,
And working with him, it's
right,
been nothing less than a learning experience which is going to be
right,
the best. I
right,
think this is going to stay with me for my life. The kind of
right,
things that I've learned working on this project, learned while being directed by him, the way he conducts himself with
right,
all the actors and all the crew members on the set,
right.
and the detailing that the
Yeah,
detailing that he works on,
yeah,
the nuances, like you mentioned. he
yeah.
he is a master at that.
At that.
The unspoken things that you see on screen,
Yeah,
that is something I would say that's his forte, that
got it.
Vikramaditya Motwani knows what an actor or what a performer can, or what a character can say on
Right,
screen without saying a dialogue.
right,
How, with his lighting, with his angles,
right,
with his the choice of background
right,
score, he just
right,
conveys and connects with your heart and soul so beautifully
right,
without even having a single spoken line
right,
in certain scenes.
right,
And it's just a masterclass working with him.
right,
Every time you're on the set, whether you're in front of the camera or you're sitting with
right,
him, observing him,
right,
doing something on the set, it's a masterclass in itself.
right, 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 right. Interesting. So, I mean, how did the world of Jubilee shape up for you? Because while the show itself is very layered, even the characters are, beautifully written, and they have different facets to them, different aspects. So, what according to you was the best part of playing a character like Jamshed Khan? While saying him, to what? So, what were some of the aspects that you could relate to, and that it made it even more engaging for you to play this particular character?
I think the best part about playing Jamshed was his Jamshed knowing what he has, what he brings on
Right,
the table when he sits in front of anybody.
right,
He's not enamored by anything which is put in front of him.
right,
He's not intimidated by
right,
who's sitting or who has come to meet him. He doesn't care about anything. He knows what he's got and what he's getting on the table,
right,
and whether you take it or you leave it,
right,
he knows his self-worth. And I
right,
think that's a very, very important quality for any artist or any actor to have.
right,
And that is extremely attractive about Jamshed.
right,
That slight, if I may call it, arrogance
right,
about him, that, not in a bad way, but something which is kind of very, in a good way, like,
yeah,
something that you can take away from Jamshed
take away,
is that slight arrogance that he has, and he's proud of, that he
right,
knows that he's worked for this.
right,
He knows
right,
that he's good, He's not trying to demean anybody,
right,
but at the same time, he's not going to be bogged down by anybody throwing some bits and pieces and saying, "Okay, you become my slave." He
yeah,
says, "No, I'm not going to do that. I'm here. I know my job. I know what
right,
I'm getting on the table. I know why you are taking me,
taking
and I
me,
know it is all business. So
right,
don't try and lure me by what you can give me.
right,
You need to know what you're getting out of me as well." So he's very, very clear about that, and I think that's an amazing quality
all to have,
that to have for
yeah,
every artist.
yeah,
Not the arrogance, minus the arrogance, but you should know what you're getting on the table, and be fearless.
exactly,
Do what is right. Don't
exactly,
you don't you don't have to be exploited. Jamshed says, "Don't, you can't exploit me, dude. You
right,
you need to, you if you want to do that, वो उसकी अब आगे का मैं बता नहीं सकता आपको, क्योंकि अभी
right,
14
आगे
के बाकी एपिसोड्स
आएगा,
होंगे,
yeah,
but but you would see what you would relate to what I'm talking about when you see the further scenes which are going to
right,
be coming ahead.
right, exciting, and I completely agree with you from what I have seen. So I completely agree with you. So, as like I have noticed in previous interviews, so you share a very amicable bond with your co-actors, which is Apar Shakti and Siddhant. So, how did your off-screen rapport with them kind of translate to you when you guys were performing on the sets? And recall some fun BTS moments from the sets that is going to stick with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I think honestly speaking, with my with a lot of other projects that I've done,
Right,
the off-screen bond has helped translate on screen.
right,
But the process here in this project was
right.
slightly different. I think
Okay,
it's slightly different because of the way Vikram sir also works,
okay,
and also because of the entire atmosphere that was created on the set.
right.
Uh, on this project, it's been completely different working for me because the off-screen bond wasn't there with anybody. I
Okay,
I I didn't know Apar Shakti before I started
yeah,
doing scenes with him.
right,
I probably just met him once or twice in the workshop
okay,
while doing the reading.
right,
I didn't know Siddhant before we started working on the project. Just met him during the workshops, and we,
right,
get done with the workshop and go back
right,
home. There was nothing.
right,
We were not hanging around after the
right,
workshop trying to know each
right,
other or
right,
develop a bond or something.
right,
I think the reason was it was also kind of deliberate from our side as our actors,
yeah,
and from the maker side as well, that they didn't want us to know too much about each other
correct,
because they wanted the characters to know each other.
correct,
So when I went on the set with Aditi, Apar, with Siddhant,
right,
they didn't exist for me. The
right,
only people who existed for me was Jay Khanna, Binod Das,
right,
and Sumitra Kumari, and that really helped because there
right,
was nothing else I knew about them. I only
right,
knew that Sumitra is in front of me, or Binod is in front of me, or Jay is in front of me,
right,
and that really helped.
right. Interesting. So, so you have been away from projects for a long time. So, is that a conscious decision on your end, or is it because you are very specific about the kind of roles or the kind of projects you want to take up, or the kind of roles you want to associate yourself with?
Yeah, it's not completely in my control.
Right,
Yes, I wish to do things which kind of surprise my audience, and in a good way,
right,
and you know my family is proud of, or
right,
I look back and I see that these are the kind of
right,
projects I've done, but
right,
it's not completely in my hands.
right,
It all depends on what comes my way, what kind of opportunities I'm getting
right,
from casting directors when they
right,
call me. What do they see in me?
right,
And I'm just trying to work on that because there's so many good casting directors like Casting Bay and Mole for Jubilee.
right,
Or when I did Super 30, Mukesh
right,
Chabra must have
right,
seen something. Now, I'm not, I know them, but we're not like the closest of
yeah,
friends.
yeah,
But when they see my work, I think they should also
right,
feel good about that.
right,
They've cast me in some good project, and they should feel good
right,
about it. Okay, we made the right choice.
right,
So I'm sorry, what was your question in the end? I completely skipped that.
So I mean, so are you very specific about the kind of roles or projects that
Oh
come
yeah.
your?
No. Yeah, so I was coming to that. So no,
Yeah.
so it's not completely in my hands. I'm not very choosy or anything.
Right.
And it's not that I'm not I'm coming back after a long time, because
Mm-hmm.
last year Andeki released. I was in
Andeki.
Andeki season
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Before that there was a special appearance in
Grahan.
Grahan.
Yeah.
Then now we begin shoot for Andeki season 3 shortly,
Right. Right.
and there are a couple of other things lined up. So it's not that I'm being choosy or I'm thinking of
Right.
doing, okay, nahi, main itna hi kaam
Right.
karunga. I want to be busy with work.
Right.
I really want to do more work, but
Right.
it's just the right kind of opportunities coming my way.
Right.
And I hope that after Jubilee,
After
a
Jubilee.
lot, I'm noticed a little more, and I get more calls for better roles.
Interesting. Right. Right. So now for the most parts of your television career, so people associated you with characters like Veer from Uttara. So when you finally stepped away from that space, uh, did you ever feel like I want to break away from this identity? I want to be identified for a performance that is more challenging and demanding than that. And was the transition from television to different kinds of projects, did it disorient you in any way?
No, it didn't disorient me in any way. I was absolutely clear about what step I'm taking, what I want to do.
Right.
There was no doubt in my head at all.
Right.
And the challenges, I think I've spoken about them a lot of times.
Right.
That's a part of
Right.
the industry, and
Right.
that's a part of an actor's job.
Right.
Uh, it comes with that. So the kind of choices we make, whether we want to start with television, or when we want to
Right.
start with modeling, or we want to start with stage shows, these are the choices we make, and these choices are not always in our hands. It's
Right.
not in our control.
Right.
Sometimes you need to begin somewhere. You can't just keep waiting that, okay, you would only do this. So my choice of doing television was because I was starting my career there, and I enjoyed doing television. I've
Hmm.
learned, I think, because I'm not from any trained acting institute as per
Institute.
se.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
all my training has been while I was doing television, while on the job, while
Right.
doing my workshops for different projects that I've done.
Right. Right.
Uh, my training has always been on the job. So
Right.
so television has played a great teacher for me
Right.
in
Right.
telling me what to do, what not to do.
Right.
And I personally feel, my family or my friends also tell me that they tell me, why are you watching this film? It's not a good film.
Right.
It's okay. I'll say it. So they tell me, why are you watching this shitty film? It's not a good film. Don't watch this. What are you going to get out of it? No,
Right.
but it's not that. It is that when you watch content, which is for an actor, it's very important to also know what not to do. It's not only about knowing what to do.
Right.
It's about as people, we should know what to speak, and we should also know what not to say.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
important. It's equally important. So it's as important as watching. So while doing television or while working on all the other projects, there are a lot of things that have learned, unlearned,
Right.
things what I should do, what I should not do, and that's been a huge part of my learning experience.
Right.
So yeah, so I think the transition has been um slightly, yes, it is difficult. It's not easy. If it was easy, then everybody would be doing it.
Yeah.
It's the perseverance. There is a lot of hard work. There's a lot of
Right.
patience that goes into it.
Right.
But if you're at it, if you kind of have that in you, that that what you're getting on the table. Like I said, Jamshed knows what he has, and that
Yeah.
is something that while I was reading the script, also that really resonated with me. That he knows what he is, and
Right.
I've always had that feeling. I didn't know whether I'm going to get into films or OTT, whether I will get work, I won't get work. But one thing I always knew was what I have and what I can bring on the table. That is
Exactly.
the only feeling that I went ahead with, and it
Right.
just worked for me.
Right, right. So do you think you have been given your dues in the industry?
Yeah, I think to work with people like Vikas Bahl, Hrithik
Right,
Roshan, with Saurabh Shukla, Jimmy
right,
Shergill, and then good directors like Ashish Shukla, and then Vikram
right,
Aditya Morpani. I think I kind of feel blessed to be
right,
working. I've been really blessed to be, and of course Ranjan Chandel. He's doing some amazing projects. He was the
right,
director for Grahan. I think
right,
I've worked with really good names as directors, and
right,
at after television, to begin with films and OTT and to work
right,
with such names,
right,
I I really feel blessed doing work with such people.
right, right. So at this juncture in your life, so what kind of roles you are ready to play? What are some of your upcoming projects that one should be looking forward to?
Upcoming, I can't name the projects, but
Right,
there's some interesting things happening, and
right,
especially after Jubilee, the kind of response I've been getting from the industry, it's brilliant. Like
right,
I've been getting calls and messages from people that we should meet up, and
right,
I don't know whether it translates. I'll be honest, whether it translates into signing a project or not signing a project, but at least people are taking notice of
right,
the kind of work that I've done,
right,
and they're appreciating. And I'm really, really thankful to everybody
right,
who's been kind to find my number or find me on social media and message me that they've
right,
liked my work.
right,
And I'm just hoping and praying that it translates into good projects.
right,
There's certain things happening, but unfortunately, we know that unless it happens, it's I can't talk about it because
yeah,
it's not right to talk
right,
about it till they allow me to. So
yeah.
once it happens, I will be able to speak about it.
Definitely, definitely. So that's it from my end. Thank you so much for your time, Nandish. It was pleasure talking to you,
Same
and
here.
congratulations for Jubilee. And hope your fans get to see you, in diverse kinds of roles and interesting projects like Jubilee. Thank you.
See you. Bye.